okay, which one do you think was telling the truth? Will the real, inventor of the atom bomb stand up and say, oh, and they tried, you remember that? You remember that? Okay. So you got 16 crucified saviors. How would you tell which one is telling the truth? They all have the same story. Suddenly it's a dilemma. I thought we had the only story. It was easy. We got the guy with the story. No, there's 16 other guys with the same story. How do you know which one is the true Christ? Now see, if nobody ever brings this up, we never have to address it. When somebody brought this to my attention, they fell away from believing that Yeshua is the Messiah. In fact, a few of my friends did. And I know many others who decide to turn to Judaism because all of a sudden they realize, I believe the lie. What an idiot I was! Why did I believe that story? Well, because the preacher told me to. Yeah, but the people we claim are all going to hell believe the story their preacher said. How do we know that they're not saved and we're going to hell? All of a sudden it's like, yeah! It's like my life rope just got cut. I just found I'm swimming with sharks and my life raft is sinking. And there's nothing to grab onto. What am I supposed to do? This is serious. What do we hold on to? Where's the truth? How do we know what the truth is? If there is a glass slipper, what would it be? If there was a way to determine the actual Mashiach, the real guy that came from the eternal realm, materialized into the universe as the Voyager's ambassador to Earth, it was indeed revealed as the man who would be slain and buried on account of the fact that he was, that we could enter the kingdom of heaven. And then he would resurrect and ascend. But it said he's coming back in great glory, in fire with teeth to destroy his enemies, and take us to heaven as he promised. How would we know who the real guy is? You have any ideas? What would be the glass slipper? Where's the glass slipper? Got any ideas?
The letter.
The Hebrew alphabet. Notice I left out a couple letters? Kaf and Lamed. The Torah. Any one of these 16 avatars who doesn't conform to the Torah is a fake. Yeshua is the one who conforms to the Torah. But if anybody else has a Christ figure that says, oh, the Torah is done away with, he changed the day, changed the festivals. You see, these alphabetic letters between Chet and Zadi are the festivals of Yod He Vav He. And Yeshua came walking in the festivals, telling us to walk in the festivals. But Jesus Christ, at least his reputation, has absolved all his followers from anything Jewish. And via Constantine and his decrees said anybody who keeps the Sabbath day should be persecuted, tormented, ripped off, and put to death. And anybody who dares to keep Passover shall be put to death. And anybody who dares to not work on Saturday shall be put to death. And anybody who does work on Sunday shall be put to death. He completely switched it all.
Just not to go way off track, but the Mishkan pattern on the phone, you described that this way, if you put the Mishkan pattern there, if you do that, then you have the festivals, right?
Here's the Mishkan pattern.
I just want to ask about the English first before you answer. You know how A, B, C, D, F, G, and it's different than Alphabet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, like, where is the Mishkan pattern with our English alphabet, and does the Mishkan pattern work with any other alphabet?
Well, the fact that the Hindus have 50 letters, I'm not sure how the interface.
Right, I
So
agree.
all I did was map it to Greek. Because the Semitic, Western Roman, Greco-Roman is different than Eastern. Though Japanese, the same word, phonetically, samurai, shamari. Isaac Moseson did some studies of that. I'm not sure. All I'm looking at is the Western culture, because the tower, head of gold, arms of silver, Babylon, Media, Persia, Greek, guts, legs, Rome. That's all Western from, like, basically the Media-Persian empires around India and westward. Doesn't address the eastern side, so I'm not sure about that. But the letters that line up, the letter H is the letter Chet. You could say, well, somebody was just saying this morning, The little girl, she says, I can't say that raspy, gravelly sound. It's like, how would you imitate the sound if you took a shovel, a metal shovel, and dragged it across the pavement? What sound would it make? That's the het. The interesting thing about that, if you look at the word sepulcher, it's the place where you're entombed. The het is a fence, but it's also the place where you're entombed. But the word sepulcher also is a low, gravelly sound. A low, gravelly voice. The sound of sticking a shovel into a bucket of gravel is the sound of the het. So even the word we have, I lived in Los Angeles, there's a place called Sepulveda, so I was, that's like sepulcher. It's the same root word, but that has to do with something Spanish. But Spain was Iberia, the Iberian Peninsula, which is the word Hebrew. The Eber is the same exact word. Anyway, the point is, the letter het sounding like gravel, putting your foot into the gravel, is exactly the sound of the letter het, which is our letter H, which is the 8th letter. And the letter 8 speaks of eternity, which also means a new beginning, which is what happens when you get put into the grave, as you're unto eternity. It's shaped like the figure 8, put sideways, so it's all, these pictures. Anyway, het, tet, and yod line up with fence, line up with Pesach, line up with day 1 that says, there was darkness, and he said, let there be light. And there was light. So the theme of Pesach is you're in bondage in Egypt, and he says, come to me and be part of my kingdom, and you're in light. Light and life. Het yod, Chai, is life, which is my fenced kingdom. My being hand the yod of the Creator. So the Creator's kingdom is life. Kingdom of light compared to the darkness. Het, tet, yod. So tet is the seal or the insignia of Yod, the Creator, and I maintain that the 4-colored door, blue, purple, red, and white, is his name in colors. Blue, Yod, purple, Hey, Vav, red, white linen, Hey. Blue, the Creator. Blue Zitziot thread. Remember that? The guy made this place.
Is that because of the tabernacle that you came with those colors?
Yeah,
okay.
Which is why blue, purple, red, white with gold thread. That's the pattern right there. Outside in the darkness. Outside in the darkness.
Oh my God.
Blue, het, tet, and yod. That's why I carried blue up here. That's the format of all these colors. And then to get these other colors, I just rolled off the color sequence. If it's blue, purple, red, after red is orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, red, orange, yellow. And roll it back this way. It's not so tricky. It's just they've basically taken blue, purple, red. So if blue is like Yod, the hand of the Creator, saying this is my kingdom, Hey is the revelation, because Hey is the revelation or the expression of the Yod. The expression of the Creator is the Torah. So these two letters line up with the Kaf and Lamed, which is the Torah, which is the Hey of the Yod, which is the expression, purple like royal decrees. Red, Vav, Adam, red man, red blood, the flesh, Mem Nun. Mem is to be pregnant and give birth, Nun, which speaks of the flesh. White, righteousness, righteous works, Yeshua, the Vav man, who was the Torah made flesh, said, I will give you the Ruach to lead you into the truth. Doing what? Doing what the Torah said. So he was the incarnation of the Torah, and he told us to manifest what he did. Follow me as I keep the Torah. So here you have a picture. This is a little altered. I still need to correct this, and it's just one of the goofs on the chart. The Vav with the 2 Heys. The Vav man, the 2 Heys are like these 2 wings, or these 2 expressions. This Hey looks just like that Hey. Why did Yahweh choose Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey as his name? He could have chosen any assortment of letters. But if Hey is the same as Hey, then the Torah is the same as when he said, follow me and do what I do, as the Ruach leads you. Hey equals Hey, and he's the Vav man, like a picture of the menorah, like the symbol on the shirt here, of the vine and the branches. The vine bearing the fruit. The vine, Hey is a manifestation and an expression. The expression of the Yod is the Torah. The expression of the Vav man, being what the Ruach said, is also the Torah. It's all the same. It's echad. It's all echad. And if somebody says, but he changed it. I know a preacher who said, well, God doesn't change, but he changed the rules. Did he? Did he change the rules? What rules did he change? Oh, we got the new covenant. We don't have to keep the law anymore. I don't agree. I don't agree that he changed those rules. Something happened when Yeshua came. What was it? Well, if people say, we can't keep the rules. They're way too difficult. He never meant for us to keep the rules. Why did he bash the heck out of Israel with their enemies and slap them around with plagues every time they went and did something wrong and profaned his ways, and then said, oh, my arm is weary of beating up Israelites. Tell you what, I'm going to get a whole new group of people and call them my dearly beloved people, and they don't have to keep the rules. Isn't that pretty unfair, what he did to the Israelites? But what if that's not true? What if Yeshua came and said, look at you guys, how easy do I have to make this? The words are in your mouth. Look at what he said at Pesach. Tell you what, you guys, separate leaven from unleavened. Have some unleavened bread. Eat the unleavened bread. And your children will say, what are we doing this for? And then you'll tell them the story. As you're telling them the story, the Torah is in your mouth. It's as easy as telling the story. That's the Torah in your mouth. And we said, oh, we can't. And then we'll change Pesach and unleavened bread, and we'll have communion, and there won't be any unleavened bread. And what we'll do is we'll never tell the story, because it just doesn't matter. And so the Torah is not in our mouth, so we can't keep the instruction, and so we get the curse. So my thing is logically deducing. As they say, when there's a crime, follow the money. Who has what to gain for Israel not keeping the Torah instructions? Israel's enemies. Because when Israel gets whacked and is down, the enemies are up. I've got verses written down, which I haven't even got to. But the point is, Yahweh says, Israel, if you don't keep my ways, then everything I intended to do to your enemies, I'm going to do to you. And everything I intended to give you, the good stuff, I'll give to your enemies. Pretty simple. He says, your way will return upon your head. He says this many times. And when I said yesterday, oh, but he knows my heart. But do we know his heart? If his heart is expressed in these letters, what do these letters say? There's this scales of justice. And he says, this is the way it's going to work. With the attitude you have regarding my words, is what's going to happen to you.